And welcome back into the Wave Morning Show with Radio Red and Craig. We have our school superintendent, Rick Surrency, in the studio this morning. How are you, Mr. Rick?
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Glad to be here.
You're lucky to be in here this morning because we're in rare form over here.
Hope you got it out of your system before I got here.
Probably not. School safety issue still the top priority, and testing.
Yeah, let's talk about school safety a minute.
Okay.
I know that's been a pretty hot topic lately, and all school districts throughout the state are having to make a tough decision about how they will arm people in the schools, whether it's having a school resource officer in every school, whether it's hiring security officers, which must be law enforcement certified, or the third option would be to arm school personnel and train school personnel to be deputies. So that's something our school board is going to have to decide on.
Did we not have resource officers at one time?
Yeah, we still do. We have them, or we'll have them in all of our middle and high schools, but we do not have them in our elementary schools.
All right, I didn't realize that because I thought there was a resource officer in every school.
No. So I'm glad you asked because it is a pretty costly thing to do.
Well, they used to live on campus, and I knew that there was a deputy that lived at Mellon at one time. I guess that's why I thought that there were resource officers in elementary schools.
Yeah, no, they're not, and currently we don't have any deputies living on campus now, but we do pay. There's a cost. The school board has an agreement with the Putnam County Sheriff's Office, and we actually pay the cost of those deputies to work at the school, in addition to their equipment and their vehicle and that type of thing. So to put a resource officer in all of our schools is going to be it's going to be a cost.
Yeah, it's going to be a big chunk.
Yeah.
It's going to be, this isn't a little cost. You're not talking just a salary, because when you talk about, I didn't realize you were having to do their vehicles and all the equipment. I thought the county took care of that.
Now we the first year we helped pay for the cost of the vehicles. Now we're negotiating with the sheriff's office now, where they can help with some of that cost. But either us or the county has to cover the cost of these deputies, and but we're looking at the other option too of hiring security officers. And again,
Money.
that's going to be money.
Well, because they've got to have all the training.
Now, folks don't like to pay new taxes, but when it comes to our kids, I mean, wouldn't a 0.25% point of sale sales tax maybe help alleviate some of the stress?
Well, sales tax, and I'm not advocating that at all. I'm just saying sales tax.
I mean, I brought that up.
Yeah, sales tax could only be used for capital type things like buildings and that type of thing. But what even if you did that, that wouldn't fix the situation we're in now. We have to have someone armed in every school by August, by this August.
And it's mandatory.
It's mandatory. It's by law.
The state says you're going to do it, and they didn't say how you're going to pay for it, but they said you're going to do it. And I'm afraid we're going to see a lot of programs throughout the state, not just school programs, but other things get cut because they're having to put extra money into the education budget. So that's something that everybody needs to be aware of. And then, of course, you hear the people that grumble, I don't have anybody in school. Why do I have to pay these taxes? Well, somebody paid them for you to go to school and for your kids to go to school. It's our children. Right. So, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, we don't want to ever have to go through what they went through down in Parkland.
No.
And we can't take any chances. And again, the third option, which the school board is considering, is arming school board employees. And I know that scares a lot of people, and people hear about classroom teachers, but classroom teachers are exempt. This would be other employees, and they would have to go through extensive training.
As long as they have to go through that psychological training, and I don't have a problem as long as they have to go through that training.
Right.
I don't, just because you have a concealed weapons permit doesn't mean that you ought to be able to do it.
Right. So they would have to go through training just like any other deputy, really. But again, that's the third option, and our school board, if you've been watching the news, has actually created a task force. One of our citizens recommended they do that, so they created the task force. I'm submitting names tonight at our school board meeting for this task force, and this is made up of members throughout our community, and they will approve that or disapprove it. But the point of the task force is to come back to the school board in 2 weeks on May 1st and make a recommendation for the school board of which of these three options they should choose. So that's a huge responsibility. task force is going to be meeting right away to consider these options and examine the facts. So just stay tuned for that, because that's
Yeah,
going to
all
be
this is transpiring relatively quickly now.
we have to know right away in case we did spend money on additional deputies. Then again, that
Cuts into your other budget.
it's going to
funding.
take away
Yeah.
somewhere the money has to come from.
Yeah, it's got to come out of the budget someplace.
Right.
And there's certain budgets you can't touch. So you've got to find a way to fund it, which is not going to be easy. I'm just thrilled that they're not talking about bats and rocks. Like school districts in other states. Just that scared me when I heard those. So, and I know we're testing now.
Yep.
So we need parents to make sure kids are well fed, well rested before they go to school. And it's hard to say this because I had it every morning at my house with one child, and probably no fights before you go to school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So make sure they know where all their clothes are the night before and their books are, because Kyle was my world's worst about getting him to school. So just make sure everybody's ready to go in the morning. They know where everything is.
Yeah. Yeah. We want to make this day as normal as possible for kids, because we don't want kids to be anxious. And I've had many kids go through school too, and it's pretty natural for kids to be kind of worrying about the test. But just keep them calm, feed them, make sure they get rest, and our teachers have really prepared our kids well. They have done a lot of practice type tests to prepare them for this. But more than that, school is about teaching and learning. They've taught the standards throughout the year. It's just an opportunity for kids to demonstrate what they've learned. We don't teach the tests like people talk about. We teach the standards, and kids have an opportunity to demonstrate their learning of the standards.
So the standard's not the test?
Say again?
Is the standard not the test?
No, the tests test the standard, but we teach the standard.
Yeah, you can practice for the test.
Yeah,
Right?
they do.
The learning happened all year long.
Right. And we don't sit there and here's one of the questions to the test.
Oh no, no, never that. No,
Yeah.
I don't think they do that. Are we ever going to get cursive writing back in school?
Well, I mean, that is something that we probably don't do as much of, but just think about it. As much as kids use computers now and word processors.
Have you ever written a letter to your grandchild?
Probably email them.
No, but that's what I'm
I know.
saying. I would like to write a letter to my grandchildren. They can't read it.
What's third grade? I mean, it's just 1 year. You learn it and you're done learning it.
So I hope they'll put that back in school, because otherwise it really is going to be senior citizens private code.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that, and they can't read the original documents.
Yeah. There's a lot of they do teach. They use original documents in the classroom, as far as especially in social studies and language arts.
That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah.
And I know, you can get it all on the computer. What happens if the computers go down? You got to be able to read it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they need to be able to sign their name.
Yes, and not print it, but sign it.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe we'll get it back in.
Yeah, things kind of come in cycles.
They do. Things do come in cycles, and I literally had a principal tell me probably 10 years ago, why worry about spelling? They got spell check. You still got to learn to spell. I've spelled so bad that I can't get close enough for spell check to help me.
Yeah, spell check doesn't always fix it, does it?
No, it doesn't always fix it.
It can alter your words, is what it can do.
It makes me rewrite a sentence because I can't figure out how to spell a word.
Well, I love voice to text when I'm texting.
Oh, that's fun.
You better check it, because it'll make up something you may not want to say.
Yeah, it's exactly. And don't try to voice and text and drive down the road, because you really do need to read it.
Right.
Otherwise, you have things going out that are unreal.
Yeah, I've had to make some corrections and
Well, you do it to friends. If I'm talking to a friend, I don't do it for business.
Yeah.
Because a friend to go, okay, I know what they meant.
Yeah. Business, it could be lethal if you send the wrong message.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
What else do we have going on? I know what have we got? 9 weeks of school left?
Less than that.
Yeah.
Less than that.
6, 9.
Hey,
When we get out, I don't even know.
Let me mention tonight, I forgot to mention that tonight at the school board meeting, we are going to be recognizing the Palaca High School boys basketball team who made it to the Final Four.
Yes, they did great.
2 years in a row. And kudos to Coach Oxendine and his staff. And then we're also going to be recognizing two of our wrestlers from Palaca High who competed at the state level. And Coach White will be there, I believe, to be with them and also be honored. Also, Linda Myers, our tax collector, is going to be recognizing some kids for tag art. Have you seen the tag
Yes,
art?
I have.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. These are tags you can actually
You can purchase here in the county.
right, and the money goes back to the schools. But these tags are actually created by kids, and they're judged, and it's really amazing some of the artwork they've done. You'll see that on display tonight if you tune into the school board meeting. So,
And how do we tune into school board meetings?
well, you can go to our link on our
Go to YouTube.
YouTube, and I believe
Putnam Schools TV.
yeah, Putnam Schools TV. It's live stream, where you can always go back and look at the recording.
Okay, I'll show Craig where that is over there next time.
Yeah,
I kind of thought
I've already seen it.
Oh,
I've already watched it.
No, the information of where it is, so you can. I was trying to cue you in on that one.
and by the way, tonight is a 7 o'clock meeting. It's our fourth night
And that's
meeting
here in Palatka.
here in
tonight.
Palatka, and this has been an experiment to see.
How's it work?
It's working pretty good. I mean, I think people are coming out for different reasons, but I think it's just more convenient, and we're just trying to connect with our
I think it's a lot
citizens.
more convenient for people at work,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
and it makes a big difference.
And we've had a meeting in Crescent City and in Larkin, so
It kind of makes those folks feel connected.
yeah,
When
absolutely.
I mean, you're going out to see them, so they should come.
Well, we have a big county, a big sprawling county, and it only makes sense to go out and meet their needs and let them see how our school board operates too. So I think we'll do more of that in the future. I think it's a good
I hope
idea.
to see you do that more.
Yeah. So,
And maybe we can get you out to Melrose for a quick one.
heck yeah, I love Melrose.
Melrose is a great school out there.
Yeah, they do a lot of good things out there. All of our schools, I'm really proud of what our people are doing, and
You've got some fantastic students and some really fantastic teachers in this county.
I'm really, really excited. I know our kids are going to do well on the tests in the next few weeks, and Putnam County schools are moving up, so just stay tuned. Our graduation rate, as you know, has improved dramatically over the last 2 years, and hoping for this year to be as well.
Losing Florida Tech School, is it going to affect us in any way?
No, and that we'll be coming out with more news about that later. That's kind of a work in progress. You're talking about First Coast Tech?
Fred, thank you. I'm
Yeah.
First Coast Tech.
Yeah. So we're negotiating with another post-secondary provider here in town, and don't want to make any grand announcement, but that is a work in progress that our legislature has made the decision to make a change.
Oh, okay. I wasn't real sure where where it came from.
Yeah, the legislature makes that decision, so we're just kind of we're processing that, working with our people in Tallahassee about it, and so we'll come out with an announcement pretty soon about what's going to be happening.
All right.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
All
Hey,
right.
thank
Thank
you,
you very
Rick.
much.
Thank you.
And Rick Surrency, our school board superintendent.